Hi, I'm Quincas and I'm a synth DIY guy. Welcome to today's video, which is a review of the Soundforce Dual LFO, brand new module from Soundforce in the Netherlands. Soundforce were kind enough to send me 3 of their modules, so I have almost a complete voice here. I have the DCO, which is a very nice digital oscillator where you can blend saw, pulse, sub 1, sub 2, and noise. You have the individual outputs over here as well as the mixed output, and you also have little faders for coarse, fine tune, and pulse width controls right here. And you also have attenuators for the pulse width modulation input and the FM input right here. You have a sync input, so really nice digital oscillator, great sound. And I also got from them the Micro VCF6, which is a really wonderful analog filter with selectable response between 2 poles or 4 poles, so 12 dB per octave versus 24 dB per octave. There is a low drop compensation circuit here so that as you raise the resonance you don't lose volume or low end, which is super nice. It's selectable as well. There is an input gain control over here which allows you to drive the filter, attenuator for the FM input, and you even get a resonance CV control. So super nice. But today we're focusing on the Dual LFO. Why don't we plug it in so we can already hear things as I talk about them. I'm going to use the Micro VCF6 as a sine wave oscillator right now. You have the resonance on high, okay, and we'll use the FM input just so we can hear what these waves sound like, right? On each side we have a wave selector, frequency control, a couple of switches, I'll talk about them in a second, a couple of attenuators for a couple of inputs, and you have a bipolar output and a unipolar output. So the bipolar output on the FM input here, I'm gonna set the frequency control to free, right, with this little switch over here. And then we have another switch that sets the range, the frequency ranges between high, medium, and low, right? So this is low right here. I'll give you these nice sweeping sine wave here, right? This is as fast as it goes in low mode, and then you can go to mid. Mid's a nice intermediary range, right? Goes to audio rate and pretty slow as well. And then on high here, you get audio rate modulation down to about here. See? Pretty fast still. Very cool. Let's go back to mid. We'll listen to this. Let's make it a little bit less radical, right? And let's have a listen at the other waveforms. We have a square right here. We have the pulse. There's no pulse width control, but you get a short high pulse and a longer low pulse. This is the rising ramp. Very cool. Falling ramp. So fun, right? Right here, just these 2 modules are a wonderful little noisemaker, in fact. Here's the triangle. Right, triangle is fairly similar to the sine wave in this context. Here's the stepped triangle. Very cool. Kind of sci-fi sounding, right? And the last wave is a random LFO, so kind of a sample and hold. as if you were feeding a noise into a sample and hold, right? And you get the classic old sci-fi computer sounds, right? Calculating. Very cool. And of course you get the unipolar output as well, right? So that just offsets it up so that the output is positive only. Of course all of the waves work there too. Triangle, falling saw. Now here, one really cool thing is that you can control the wave shape externally. So there's a wave input over here, right? And then we get the ROTLFO, round output over here, and we'll put that into that wave input. Let's make it slow here. So now we're cycling through the waves. Of course, there's the frequency control over here as well. Let's use the other side of the Dual LFO to generate a random voltage. And here's where it's handy that it's a dual, because you can use one side to control the other. So we're going to take the unipolar output of LFO2 to control the frequency of LFO1. Right? And let's make it a slower change here. So now we're modulating both the wave shape and the LFO frequency, right? And these are attenuverters, so you can always dial it towards the negative side as well, right? And the high, mid, and low settings are still active, still apply. So here's an audio rate now. Very cool. That's the random, right? Let's make this LFO go a little bit faster. Very cool. Here's mid. Okay, let's change this one to a slow triangle now. Right, so now we're in triangle and we're just watching that frequency get modulated by the other side. Let's go back to the sample and hold one. There's the sine wave again. Alright. Now another really cool thing about this module is that it can actually be tempo synced. You see there's a tap input over here. So as you see right now, the first switch here is set to free, right? If I turn it to the 0 side, it's no longer free. Now it's going to be slaved to the tap input over here. So why don't we do something a little bit more complex? Let's program a quick sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we'll take that clock output from the ground control and we'll connect it to the tap input over here. Connect the output of the DCO to the filter input. We'll turn down that resonance. Let's turn up the volume here a little bit. And we'll also connect the pitch output of the ground control to the volt per octave input of the DCO here. Oh yeah, this is the tap input over here. So see, it's synchronized now, right? This is the rising ramp running the filter. If I use the falling ramp, it becomes kind of an envelope generator, right? With a fast attack. Now I can change the division too. Very cool. So this is the manual control over the multiplication division of the frequency of the LFO. Put it in sine wave here and make it very choppy. This square wave here too. You can also time that random voltage here. This one sounds really nice. Super cool modulation source. Very simple, no menus, right? Very easy to just dial a setting that you like, but also interesting enough to do more advanced stuff when you start using those external inputs. Now I can also modulate the division multiplication with something else, right? So as you can see, the tap is normaled, right, from left to right. So both of the LFOs are synchronized to this incoming clock right now. As you can see that by the LED right here. So let's get a slow division random voltage here, and we're gonna send that to control the division multiplication of the left side. That might be a little radical, so we can attenuate it a little bit. That's super cool, huh? What a nice effect. Maybe I should use the unipolar output for that. So we're getting a random variation of the division multiplication of the clock. Very cool. What if I use, instead of random here, we use a triangle and make it slow? In fact, this one is free. Let's synchronize it. So now I'm creating a repetitive pattern, right? Very cool. I can even cross-modulate them too. I can take the bipolar output of number 1 and control the wave shape of side 2. Very cool. Let's get the random one going here. Random on both of them. And now we're changing the division multiplication of each one with the other one. Right? Cross-modulating that division multiplication value. And they also have reset inputs, which I haven't talked about. Right here, each channel of the Dual LFO has a reset input. Let's get the contour 1 here. We'll get the rise output, which is a pulse, and we'll put it into the reset. Let's simplify this a little bit. We'll remove the CVs for now. Let's make them triangular. Right? And now I can reset. So you get this combination, right, of the rhythmic response, but that gets periodically reset by the external CV here. Let's make a little bit longer sequence here. There you go. Let's make them free. Very cool. Why don't I control the contour 1 with this one? Let's make it a sine wave, make it slower. And that one we will sync to. Let's make it even slower. Free range here. So cool to use that sync or reset rather, right? You can think of the reset as a hard sync. Very cool. Yeah. That's about it for this one. It's a simple module. So there's not too much to talk about it. It's just very fun, very hands-on, very immediate, and I really enjoy it. I'm going to be using it a lot. Hope you liked the video. Hope you liked the Dual LFO by Soundforce. And that's it. See you soon. Stay noisy.